All right, we are now live. Welcome to the candy shop. This is Mimosa Mondays, and I am Candace.
I'm Hannah.
Yes, and welcome to the show. I'm drinking wine today. I've been drinking all weekend, so I didn't know I couldn't do the hard liquor today because I with my mimosas I usually do Bacardi and champagne and the orange juice. So I wanted to take it a little light. How was your Christmas?
Good. Well, I went hard. This is cognac and orange juice. It looks like a mimosa, so I'm in the theme. My Christmas was good. Besides cooking again. Oh, and
Yes, well that's good.
our kids decided to open the presents while we were asleep.
What? No, I hope you beat their butts. No,
The
I'm
next
joking.
morning, we woke up. I woke them up at 6. They didn't want to open them. The next morning was my 8 a.m. I was still tired because I woke them up at 6. I fell back to sleep. Woke up at 9:30. Everything was open.
Mm-mm-mm. See, no, my kids have to wait for me. But no,
They never did. Never. And he's 14. Like, you've never done
no.
this.
I usually have to wake my kids up. So I woke them up about 7, and we open gifts. Um, but yeah, am I freezing? I feel like StreamYard is being straight
No,
garbage today.
I see you perfectly fine. You're not
Okay,
freaking.
okay, good. Okay, well let's get into it. So this is Mimosa Monday, my sometimes my messy Monday, but I do want to talk about I was going to say about the Real Housewives of Potomac, the reunion. I want to talk about Monique quitting, and I just want to unpack all of that. So I don't know if you don't really watch Potomac, do you? Yet.
So I saw the first couple seasons. I actually, for the purpose of this, I actually watched the reunion.
Mm.
Ooh, I yeah, I watched the reunion. I was kind of lost because some of the stuff I was hearing, it didn't seem like it was a part of the show. Like the yelling at people, kids, and the you talking about each other. I didn't know that was a part. So I don't know if that's a part of the season or not. Um,
It wasn't, and
oh, that's it.
and
So it
so
came with the reunion instantly.
well, it's so hard to explain. It looks like a lot of stuff happened off the scene. So this is what I'll say to that. I'm gonna give you a quick synopsis of what happened. So apparently Monique had a friend who I feel was jealous of her, shopping shopping a rumor to get on the show. And so the rumor was that Monique and Chris Samuels' last child was not theirs, that or not Chris's. It was her trainer's. And so her friend went to several people on the show with this rumor, and finally a lady named Sharice, that who used to be on the show, who had a falling out with Monique, I guess bit back at the rumor. So she at Andy's baby shower, Sharice, I guess, I don't know if she was there, but she told Giselle, and Giselle brought it to the group, and they talked about it. And so they wanted to talk about it on the show. And Candace was there, and Candace was like, "No, Monique is not here to defend herself. She does have a lot going on, but that's bull. I'm not going to talk about somebody's child on the show."
Mm-hmm.
So it was never brought to the show except for when I guess off the cameras Monique, I mean not Monique, but Giselle visited their house, Monique and Chris's house, and Chris asked her like, "Hey, does the baby look like me?" So she felt like it was fair game to talk about the rumor because he said that. But
Which I don't know why he decided to say that.
I think he said that because this was after he had heard the rumors.
Mm.
So, normally when you see a baby for the first time, the parents will say which child does it look like. But
Yeah.
I feel like he felt some type of way. So when he said it, he kind of had a smirk on his face, like, "So the baby looks like me, right?" And so she was like, "Yeah." And so either way, regardless of him saying that, Giselle is saying she thought that by him saying that it was already being talked about on the show, which is why she brought it up. But I'm like, okay. So fast forward, I feel like the situation with Candace, like what a lot of other bloggers were saying, Candace was collateral damage. I don't blame her now. I mean, she still got a slick mouth, but I feel like Giselle is playing everybody, and she was exposed. And then she was so nasty on this reunion, telling Chris, like, I don't know why his MFA is here, and he need to sit down in security, and mm, It
And
was
that's
just,
petty, right?
yeah, it's very petty. And then her security, and I felt like, what is her security gonna do? And then another thing, when Robin said, if Juan Dixon was here talking about her man, I'm like, girl, if he was there, what was
Why
he
ain't
gonna
about to
do?
do nothing to Chris? Why don't sit down? He probably somewhere where what you call him husband. But
I swear, it seems like Juan lives a double life. The way he's so close to Ashley's husband, it is crazy.
and they always missing together. Wow.
Exactly. You got a point. So this is what I say with the whole Candace and Monique drama. I really do hate that it happened. I believe Monique when she says she was triggered by people in her face, because growing up, my mother always told me if somebody has a hand in your face, that's just your go to hit them. If they doing all this in your face, they're invading your personal space. So it was a trigger for her. I hate that it got to that point, because I feel like it was all Giselle. Giselle was the puppet master, and they were just the puppets falling for her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought that her apology to Candace was genuine, even though Candace didn't want to accept it. Candace, it just seems like for her, she has a lot of issues going on, not only from dealing with her own mother, but just people in general, and dealing in confrontational atmospheres. That's something is wrong there. And so I can tell this situation was traumatic for her. So I don't hate her anymore, because I was like, oh, I can't stand her. Her mouth is so slick. So no, I just hate that both of them were pawns for what Giselle has going on. And Giselle just wanted to bring the mess. I feel like, just like Candy's unsaid on Housewives of Atlanta, this was a scheme brought by Todd just to bring the bullshit. That's what it
I'm so happy. I'm kind of caught up on it.
So you
Oh
saw
man.
that, Kurt? Oh, I
Yes,
died.
I actually made it to season 12. I have been watching this diligently every day. I'm gonna watch this Housewives and catch up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be honest though. Okay, this might come off wrong. I really feel like Candace made this fight her storyline for the season. Like I feel like she didn't have a storyline coming in, and the fight gave her enough. Because first of all, you didn't need to drag this fight on, and you're crying. The fight. This was last year. Why are you crying now? Like, come on. At this point in time, why are you crying? And these I'm still on medicine. You still on medicine from a fight. First, it wasn't even a real fight. Y'all was windmilling. Your wig
Mm-hmm.
was messed up. That's not a fight. First of all, a fight is somebody's teeth on the ground. Somebody can punch, bruises, whatever. Your wig looking like a rooster's nest is not a fight at all. So you're this traumatic. And my thing is, if you were just this upset and this hurt and everything was so traumatic, why are you still instigating and throwing shots at people? And someone feels as though they're victimized and they need, something's wrong, they're hurting. You don't keep attacking the person who you think did this to you. And it's like she really wanted a rise and really wanted Monique to go crazy. So when this season comes back on next year, she'll be able to talk about it. But I think she didn't expect Monique to quit.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
I don't think that was in the play. And my thing about, first of all, I do not like Giselle. She worried about everybody else but her so-called ex-husband that's for the streets. Her and him are both for the streets. I still don't know how she's housewives. She's never been a housewife at one time on the season. Not one time. You haven't had a relationship long enough to even equip to being engaged. I really feel as though if she wasn't Jamal Bryant's ex-wife, she probably wouldn't even be on the show. But I feel like his name speaks a little more, and that's why she's still a part of it. But that's not your man. So you've never been a housewife since you've been on the show. Whoever married you, I feel sorry for them. But you don't even have a man around enough to even be on the show. Like, I still don't know why she's on the show.
Yes.
I still do not know why Giselle's on the show whatsoever.
Well, she's Andy's favorite, and Andy has his
Yes,
favorite. that's another thing I want to talk about. Andy Cohen really pissed me off. Like
Woo,
he
yes.
he was gaslighting Monique, and it just goes along with the narrative of how they say that he does not like black women. Nene said it. Nene wanted everybody to boycott Bravo because Andy does not tend to like black women, and so they made, going back to Chris Samuels and Monique, they made Chris be this whole. They were so dramatic about the way Chris was behaving, which I love. The only thing that I did not like was when he said he wished he could turn into a transgender guy in order to whoop them or slap them. That part was wrong. But as for protecting his wife, I agree. When Andy asked him, "Hey, what did you think of the 10-part Michael Jordan series?" He was like, "I was too busy watching y'all talk about my wife and this lying on my wife." So he was
Yeah.
like, "I didn't have time to watch that." So I love that. I love the fact that he said that. I loved I just like the fact that he stood up for his wife. Oh my daughter in here crying. But I'm gonna let you talk for a second and get her situated. What are your thoughts on Chris?
So I have no problem with Chris speaking up for his wife. I agree with you. I have a major problem with him saying he would like to stump women if can become a woman. You should never think of that, because that goes back when people think that you actually hit Monique. And by you saying that, and you were drunk at the time, that plays right into when people thinking maybe she is abused by you when you get under the influence. So I do not agree with that statement. However, as her husband, he had every right to say what he said, because you're not just attacking him, you're attacking his children. You're saying that that's not his child, and especially not saying that men don't want daughters, but especially his son. Like he carries on the namesake. So for you to say, "Oh, that's not his child," and starting rumors, I 100% don't. I agree some part of what he said to protect his wife, and I see no problem with it. As far as Andy, I can care less about Andy, because it's like when he feels as though they're acceptable black people, he's okay with that. But when you're, so called, not saying Monique is hood, but straight to the point, straight shooter, no chaser. I love Monique because I'm a straight shooter, no chaser. So I
Mm-hmm.
love and respect for that, because what you see with me is what you get. So I respect that about Monique. And isn't she from Jersey?
Yep,
So
she is. I
yeah,
believe
so
so.
Jersey, Philly, boom, boom. So I respect every part of what she says. I just don't. I feel as though Andy was personally trying to target her, because when she was talking, and he was like, "You don't need to feel remorseful." Like, first of all, Andy, this was a year ago. I have not filmed with this girl. I have not saw her. She's a non-factor. I can care less right now. I'm really on this show right now because I signed a contract. That's basically what I got from Monique. Like, I signed this contract. I'm sitting here. I'm going to quit in 5 minutes. First of all, I would have let them all have it. Monique is a better person than me, because I would have went
Mm-hmm.
down the line and read everyone's fulfilled right there on that chair, starting with Andy. But Monique handled it much better than I would, because if I know I'm quitting, and I don't quit jobs, but if I ever decide one day this is gonna be the job I quit for the first time, everybody's catching it. The whole floor, everyone. So I respect what Monique said, but I respect Chris protecting his life. Like we always say, we want men to protect us. So he stepped up to the plate. Now, stumping women, no. No.
Mm-hmm.
Unacceptable. And also, I don't respect that none of the house husbands was there, because, well, besides, what's his name? What's Ray? Was Ray there?
Yeah,
Yeah, Ray
yeah,
came.
he was there.
But
Uncle Ben.
they've been filming for what, five? They've been filming for like 5 years now. Y'all knew the reunion was coming. Why y'all scared? Why didn't y'all show up?
Well, Ashley's husband said that he had to go to a wedding, so that's why he wasn't there. Juan, I forgot what Robin said Juan's issue was. It, exactly. And then Jamal is lecturing. That's what Giselle said.
And she
So
noticed that off the top of her wig. Because she was like,
exactly.
he's lecturing. Lecturing what? Girls COVID.
Yes. So I want to take it back to Candace. Candace historically has always had this mouth where she pops off. She has anger issues for real, and that's something that she needs to go get. Even though she doesn't put her hands on people, well, she did threaten Ashley Darby with a knife
A
last year.
knife.
So she has anger issues, and I think it comes from her mother. her mother gaslights her. And so I think it was one scene or one incident that happened on the show where her mother hit her with her purse. So she has a lot of trauma from her mother. What'd you say?
I saw it, but she drugged that out forever. She's so dramatic. She's a pageant
What'd you
girl.
say?
I said she's a pageant
Yeah.
girl. She like it. She is so dramatic, and I feel as though
Hmm.
you would think she was the only child the way she acts.
Yeah, no, she has a brother, I
She
think.
has
She
a
has other
sister. Oh
siblings.
yeah, she has
Oh
a brother
yeah,
by her, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I did see the episode with the wedding when her mom didn't want the brother there, which that whole family needs therapy.
Yeah.
I need them all to sit down and realize that the whole entire family. Well, not Chris. I like the other. I like her husband. He cool. He does no wrong.
I
but
know.
but I feel like they all need therapy.
Yes, I even like going back to Chris. Well, both Chris's. I like the fact that they made up at the end. You can tell they really want their friendship, and so
Yeah.
I wish. I'll say this: it is hard with the way that they did Monique on this show. It was a lot of jealousy brought on by Giselle, but she did assault Candace. But I hate that friendship is not going to make it because that was a friendship that I liked. Two brown girls having a good time. I liked it. Their husbands got along, and they were just the fun people of the show. Because when you look at it, like Candace and Monique, they're like our age. The rest of these women are like older, and so
Yeah.
it's like it's like I don't know how long I can watch Giselle be old
And
and
miserable and
and
lying.
even though I love Karen, Karen is old too. Her husband is old, and I don't care about their sex life.
Oh,
So
oh, oh my God.
So that's the thing, and I hate that they can't get along. But I know that Candace does have some issues that she has to get over. Monique, I don't think Monique has issues. She's had time to process everything that has happened. I think she handled herself well, and her main target was Giselle. It wasn't even Candace; it was Giselle, because she knew Giselle brought the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't like Giselle. Robin, I don't even see what her point is except to be Giselle's minion or
I was
whatever, or mini me. Like exactly. And then Wendy, I'm starting to like Wendy. Wendy is very. I like the fact that she's very diplomatic, but she is boring. She doesn't bring anything else. I love her husband. He's so nice.
yeah. All she talks about her degrees. Girl, bye.
Yeah.
Okay, you have 90.
Well, when I saw her on Watch What Happens Live, she was very toned down, and she talked about both of them. There was no side for her. She was just like, she likes the fact that they had that platform to meet up for the first time. She did call Candace a crybaby. Um, so I was like, okay, Wendy, I can like this Wendy, the person that's more level headed and sees the shit for what it is, huh?
What was that on?
Watch What Happens Live. So she was
I
on
never
there
saw none
last
of
week.
this.
Oh, those are good because that's where you get the real tea. That's
Really?
where some of the tea comes out. Yes, with
You
on
know,
any show.
because of you, I'm watching Housewives of Atlanta. So, of course, I'm used to
Yes,
I have
yes.
Can I'm ask you this, and
Mhm,
we are in our 30s, so
mhm,
I really feel like Monique and Candace could have squashed this in day two. All they had to do was be like grown women, sit,
mhm,
have I don't know if they still cool, but even Portia and Kenya came to a point where they was acting like adults. Well, the season I'm on, they are because they got their children, but the fight, okay, it was an altercation. Candace can't admit her part in it, and Monique stands her ground. But if they both just came and was like, you know what, I was wrong, but you got in my space, and I was already upset about something else, and I took it out on you because I really don't think that it was all about Candace that day. I just think that Monique was going through so much, and the finger in the face, which is used to be my road. When you get in my personal, I don't work well all in here. You
mhm.
can yell, you can scream, whatever, from a distance. But when you come here, I'm 100% agreement. When you get this close and I could lean and to touch me, then I'm gonna have to punch you. But that's the old me, you know, I'm older now. But so I kind of see that, but I feel like if they both would have handled this like grown women and sat down and had a meeting, this would have been over. This could have been squashed. Y'all could have got your friendship back. And I agree with you. I don't like the fact that y'all friendship probably won't get back to normal. And I believe it's just because of pride on both sides. Like both of y'all can say, I was wrong, I was wrong. We're grown, where we can do this. We both first of all, Potomac ain't but so big.
Exactly.
It's not but so big in Potomac. And I feel like y'all can be able to talk and work this out if you just put your grown woman on. It doesn't take a lot to say I was wrong. We both were wrong. Let's talk it out. So I hope maybe the husband, well, I don't know, after Black Chris went to stump people, I don't know how much far we going.
Well,
The husbands might can get them back on the same page. I believe Chris and Chris could get them back together.
yes. But yeah, I definitely agree. I think hopefully they can get them back together. And like you said, Potomac is not that big. I used to live in Maryland. About the first high school I went to was in Potomac. So I went to school probably with their children. Um, but I ended up finishing high school at Gaithersburg. So we moved away from the Potomac area, but the area is not that big. It's not all this, the streets are talking and all that other stuff, because when you think of Maryland, I don't know if you've been to Maryland, and I think I said it before,
Yeah.
the cities run concurrently. So it's just city after city after city. So to me, it's just the DC area. I know they want to say they want to separate themselves from DC, but it's DC. And hell, Candace's old house was in Baltimore. That's actually
Baltimore, I
where
was
she
saying,
was
wasn't it
living.
in Baltimore?
Yes, it
Girl,
looked like she was staying by the Inner Harbor or somewhere. But it's
my
like,
favorite spots are in Baltimore. We used to drive from Philly to Baltimore just to eat seafood at the harbor.
mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
So yes, I love the Inner Harbor too.
Yep.
So, but yeah, the city is not that big. I'll say this. I think they just never liked Monique because she represents the new money versus Giselle and Karen, who are old money. They're fully established. They've been in the area for a while, and so Monique and her husband are newly acquired money. So that's why they didn't like her. It reminds me of The Help. Remember they didn't like that girl, the
Yep.
little blonde girl. That's what it was.
I
And
think
Monique-
Giselle's jealous though.
yeah, they were jealous of Monique.
I don't think Giselle has money.
I don't know, because she looked like she lived in a vacation house. Like, oh,
I don't think
Monique's
Giselle has
vacation
money.
house is better than Karen. I mean, better than Giselle's real house. So that's
Like Karen has money. We know that.
yes.
I think Karen and Monique are the only two people on the show that has money.
Yeah,
You
everybody
can't.
else.
I don't think Giselle. First of all, Giselle needs a stylist. She needs Martha Stewart. She needs interior decorator.
She just
Life
gets by on her
coach.
pretty face. That's
That
it.
she has pretty girl scent, and she knows she has a pretty face, but her attitude is nasty. Her
Hmm.
attitude is nasty, and my thing is, I like your network because you congratulate women. I'm big on the women and us congratulating and happy for each other. Giselle can't be happy for anyone, and she know Robin kisses her ass left and right.
Yeah.
So that's why
See,
she's okay with Robin. But even when Karen came out with her little stuff, oh, I've never heard of this and that. People, instead of trying to tear your fellow woman down, all you have to do is congratulate her and be happy for her. It's not that hard to be happy for other people. And I don't understand it. Like us as women can celebrate each other's happiness.
Giselle is just messy, and what's crazy is these are the things that I liked about Giselle. This is why I used to like Giselle. Giselle is from New Orleans, and so she's used to doing the second line and all that stuff. I love the New Orleans culture, even though I'm not from New Orleans. And then she went to an HBCU. She went to Hampton University. Hampton University is a sister school to Tuskegee. Booker T. Washington graduated from Hampton University. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool, represent. Then she's an AKA, so she's in a black sorority. So I identify with that as well. And then it's like she married Jamal Bryant. So she to me represented what an established black woman was. And so all of a sudden, I don't know, it just I don't know how to explain it. I guess she was the person that Andy liked. And so in order to make the show interesting, she sold her soul to be messy because that's basically what she is. She is very messy. And then she's also nasty. I guess from my understanding, now this is what I heard in the blogs. Monique went in on her, and some of that stuff did not come to fruition we didn't get to see it taped, but Monique went more in detail with the binder to the point where Giselle was about to cry. Yeah, do your glasses like that. Yes. Giselle was about to
What?
cry. So we didn't get Andy didn't or Bravo didn't air those scenes. So apparently, I guess that's where all her animosity comes from. The fact that she just got rid to filth, and now she mad that
I'm gonna drink.
Monique Samuels was
I'm gonna
there.
drink to that one.
Yes. So I know that's what happened. I just hate that she wants to be the messy one. I gotta catch up with my other show, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, because that's gonna be my new treat since
I
I'm
have
gonna.
watched that so bad because of you.
Yeah.
When you said she married the grandfather, I'm just trying to finish 12 of Housewives. I'm finally at 12 with Atlanta, and this season is 13, right? So
Yes.
I'm that close. So I'm like, I have to finish this out because I'm known to start a show and not finish.
Yeah,
So
you gotta finish.
so that's my next show, and then we have to watch of course the Love Huntsville with your team. But I definitely want to watch Salt Lake because I want to know why you married Grandpa.
Well, they don't focus on her as much, but well, they do focus on that aspect. And actually, one of the ladies on the show is like, she's effing her grandfather. And so,
But what? No,
yes,
okay.
and so then the lady is like, she's so mad at her. She was like, she called me a grandfather mf'er.
Isn't she first lady too?
Yes, and she preaches. She's like, she doesn't
In
consider
person?
herself. Yeah, she preaches at the church. She doesn't consider herself a preacher, or she just says she's the first lady, but she's like an apostle. She's preaching at this church, and so
I'm not
yes,
saying that you
it's
have
a
to be.
whole. This show is a whole hot mess. Salt Lake City is a mess.
I don't want my
How?
first lady cursing.
What'd you say?
I don't want my first lady cursing. Like I don't not
I,
saying us as people, Christians or whatever, you don't curse and ever, but I don't need you up here cursing and then trying to tell me to live
on
right.
TV, yeah. Well, I'll say this: growing up as a preacher, PK, even though my grandfather was a preacher. You know they're still human. Now my grandfather didn't curse, but you know it happens in our religions. They curse, they drink. That's what happened to Leandria Johnson. She went on
Yes,
Periscope and cussed everybody out. So
I forgot. You're right. See, growing up,
so
it was different though back then because my parents, I didn't, when I say I didn't know alcohol, it was not an ounce of alcohol at the house. My
yeah.
mom, she cursed now, but back then, my mom didn't curse. She barely yelled. It was no alcohol. That's probably why I drink now because I wasn't exposed to anything. But
Yeah.
now it's like I'm not saying go back to that, but sometimes it's okay to separate just a little
To set
because
yourself apart.
you're you're on television at this point and you're seeing more people than just the people inside your congregation is seeing you at this point. So you never know. Even if you want to act like, even though Phaedra was fake on Housewives, she tried to act a little classy because she is a PK.
Yeah. But I don't know. She would switch up then when she liked that
Switch up, let's move
stripper
on.
that sucked his own thing.
Oh my god! And then when she came with that thong and Bermuda, what was that Bermuda?
Yeah.
Whatever they were,
And
the thong bathing suit. I was like, look, you was I don't cuss. So all I drink is wine. So let me show my cheeks and give me some Rolex. I was like,
yes.
what is it? But my thing
Yes.
is just be yourself. So I mean, if that's her, that's her. But don't tell me when I'm doing something wrong on Sunday morning and then you drinking and cussing on Tuesday. Just I
Exactly.
don't want to say so. Only your stuff. I'm not gonna curse, but only your
Exactly.
stuff. If that's you, then that's you. If it's not, it's not. But don't tell me what to do and how to live my life if you're gonna live it the same way as I am.
Exactly. So yeah, I definitely agree. I grew up the same way. My mom didn't curse at all. She barely drinks, and she thinks I'm an alcoholic because I might have a glass of wine. So I get it, but it's interesting. I know everybody isn't perfect though, and I've been in those circles with preachers that push the envelope. So yeah, you have to watch it. I do want to go back to Monique quitting though. Monique Samuels quitting the show. So I'm mad that she quit, even though when I thought about the show, I'm like, nobody wanted to film with her. So where would she have fit in? And then she was just over it. Monique, she said to Andy, the little chick that she got from Real Housewives of Potomac was nothing compared to the money her husband was making. So it ain't like she needed the check. She wanted the exposure. But now she has her own YouTube channel. She made a video, or music video or whatever. So
Oh,
she's doing good for herself. So it's yeah, it's interesting. I'm gonna miss her. I don't know if I'll watch it, even though she wasn't on the first season, and I did watch the first season. Um, but they're gonna it's gonna take somebody really good to fill her shoes. I don't think Wendy is the person.
where
Uh,
can go?
now my favorites are only gonna be uh Karen is my favorite, and maybe Ashley. Ashley is such a wild card. She goes back and forth. I like when she stands up to people. She just does her. I do like that about Ashley. She don't care. She go wherever how she's feeling. If something don't feel right to her, she's gonna say it. So I love that about Ashley because she's a straight shooter too.
Her name's not. Was her name Wendy too? Her name was Wendy too. Russell Simmons' ex.
Oh, Wendy.
What
Who
was
was
her name?
Wendy?
Russell Simmons' ex. She was on the first
Who made
season.
Baby Fat? Or you talking about Russell
No,
Simmons? Or
wasn't
not
her name
Russell
Wendy?
Simmons. It was the other lady. I think her name was Wendy, but the other
I
guy,
like.
the what's it's not Russell. What's his name?
She dated Russell Simmons because they talked about it on the show.
No, Russell Simmons. I thought Russell Simmons had the company, and then his brother was in Run DMC,
Russell
and
Simmons
they
dated
had
her.
the reality show.
Russell Simmons dated her and Kamora Lee. Well, he married Kamora.
Oh, what show
Yeah,
was that?
that was. But she talked about it on the first season
Of what?
of
What show?
Potomac that she used to date Russell Simmons.
Who said that? Oh,
Wendy, not Portia. Wendy. Okay,
the Wendy on the show now?
no, no, not 5 Degrees. Skinny model Wendy that had the daughters, and then she got engaged.
Oh, yes. And she was with that white guy.
Yes, she dated Russell.
That is crazy. I
And
didn't know
he
that.
dates Cynthia too, or they just real good friends.
I think they're just real good friends.
Okay, because he with everybody young.
Yeah, he was with what's her name? With the bald head.
Oh, he
Amber.
loved him some Amber.
Yeah.
I forget what show I saw. I don't know what reality show they was on, but when she came in, I don't know if Amber had one over Russell, but I know he was just in awe of her.
All in her booty and stuff.
I
She
mean,
was it seemed like
every
she was
word
rolling
he
around his desk.
had to cheat. But he was in awe of her. But I actually liked her. I like Charisse. Um, I didn't like when Charisse, well, the seasons I saw up to. I'm not caught up yet. But I didn't like when Charisse was saying that Monique wanted to take all her context. Like, girl, Potomac is 5 minutes long. We can run in the same circle and they're the same people. It's not that deep. I don't understand that. What was the point of that? Maybe she was
That's
just
when they had their falling out. That's what's
yeah,
supposed to be their
but that was
falling
years
out.
ago. Girl, if you don't get over that, worry about why your husband, whoever was 19 states away from you. Girl, I be feeling like it'd be a lot of misplaced anger and they take it out on the girls. And that's why sometimes they say women can't get along, which we can get along. You just gotta know how to not take your anger and your
Yeah.
frustration out on your another
And your
woman
friends.
or man. Yeah. Like
Because
just
I
own
was
it.
gonna say I'm a girl's girl. Like I grew up with sisters. I wasn't raised by my father, so I cling to women before I cling to men. I can't say that I just get along with men. My only male best friend is the one that we were in the organization with. But other than that, I'm a girl's girl basically. So it boggles my mind though when women can't get along, because it's like we have to have each other, especially now with this whole Kevin Samuels bullshit going on. It's like,
Yes.
girl, we need to have our backs.
Who else gonna have it? Who else will?
Yes, yes, because it's getting crazy out there.
I know Monique probably would never come back.
I know. She's over it. She said she was over it.
Over, but it's
She got asked to come back, but yeah, she's over. She's not wanting
no
to
one
do it.
else. I don't. It's no one I will watch on there. I
Mm.
like
Well,
Karen.
I like Karen.
I like Karen, but Karen actually is my favorite. She's always been. I've never liked Giselle. I like her dad. I like her kids. I like the guy she was dating. I think the first and second season, the one who her mom really really likes. I
Yeah.
like him, but I'm happy he dodged that bullet. Woo, I'm happy. Get up out of there.
See,
Um,
I like Giselle. I wish she would just go back to the old Giselle. She wasn't as messy.
I think this is the real Giselle. That's the sad part.
Damn.
I
Mm-mm-mm.
think that the first her was trying to act like first lady, and I feel like this is actually her. She just plays it so. I really truly feel like the first part, like when Phaedra first started off of Housewives, and she was acting a certain way. I feel like that was Giselle, and I really feel like this is really her. And I'm not. Maybe she just needs to find love. I'm not saying you need a man to validate you, but I feel like something's missing, and maybe she had someone else in her life to keep her occupied. She wouldn't be of everybody else's business because you want everyone else's business but your own. Like, work, focus on your
Mhm.
daughter, focus on yourself, focus on your life, and then just. I understand you were first lady at the time, but if you were my first lady, girl, I'm leaving the church because something's seriously wrong with you.
The
And yeah,
thing is, the thing is, though, she had a conversation with somebody a few years ago. I don't know if it was Monique or not. Somebody was going through problems. I think it was Monique. When
it
Monique
was
was having some
Monique, and
problems,
she addressed that well.
yeah, and she
It
was
was
saying, I've
Monique.
been a first lady. We have husbands that like the spotlight. I love Giselle in that moment because I'm like, finally, she's being human. She's telling her what it's like to date somebody in the spotlight. But I just don't know what happened. I would have liked for her to like Monique, but she didn't like Monique ever since the first episode when Monique said she had them 4 homes. Oh,
Oh, you don't have the house? I have.
and Monique was like, no, I have
I have.
four.
Like, let her know. Let her. But you see, off the bat, it's you know why though. Giselle wants to be the prettiest one in the room,
Mhm.
and she feels
That's
threatened.
the insecurity.
She feels threatened that another woman is in the room. And okay, I'm going there with the colorism, especially a dark skinned woman at
Yeah.
that. She feels as though what you have on the show is that you're pretty. She don't have nothing else going for her on the show.
Mhm.
I'm being honest, I'm just being real blunt. She has nothing else on the show going for her besides her looks at this point and your beautiful children.
Well, she's getting old, so the looks are fading.
They're fading, and the wigs are trash. Trash. Like you talking about Karen wigs, girl. At least Karen be true. Karen wigs was horrible.
Did you see that ponytail, Giselle? You probably didn't see that. She had this real sloppy, ugly ponytail, and I
I
was like,
know, but I
damn.
told you I follow the guy Kendall on Instagram, and he always goes in. Oh, I love Kendall. He makes me want to watch reality TV because he goes
Yeah.
on everybody on reality TV. So I was like, okay, but I did see one of the cooks when she tried to recover that wig, and the stylist was like, "You gotta throw that away." And she's like,
Yeah.
"You can do something, girl." It looked like after Candace got into a fight. It looked like that,
Hmm.
girl. Nobody's wearing. You would think that's another reason why I don't think Giselle. I think Giselle tries to act like she has the money at Potomac, but I feel as though she's established. So your house is paid for. You probably only got to pay your taxes, so you can say that. But I don't feel like
Well,
Giselle really has the means to do.
she
But it's
probably
okay.
she probably has Jamal's money because they got those kids, so he's paying child support
Yeah,
from
hush
his church salary.
and the hush money because she know more than what she's saying,
Oh
and you
yeah.
don't pay it, so she getting the hush money. But my thing is, I would have respected Giselle more if she came on this season and was like, "I have no man. I'm looking. But to lie and have your kids involved, now it might not seem nothing, but those girls are getting older.
Mm-hmm.
And you want to be an example to your, not just your children, but especially a woman raising another woman. You want to be an example, and you are basically setting the tone that you should lie
Yeah.
or put up with, like, you can tell that those girls are not too keen of their father, and
Exactly.
you
It
can
is only
especially Joy,
because
they're
I was
not
gonna say,
keen of him.
it's only because he hurt their mother. Because if that stuff
Yes,
didn't happen, of course they would love their
they
dad.
would. I mean, listen, and you let them live that in the spotlight. Come on, like, it's just certain story. I'm sorry. I feel like they all needed a storyline this season, and the Monique was the target, and I do not like the fact that Monique quit, but I know why she quit. Like, you're not about to use me as your punching bag in your storyline all season. And then Karen with her flip flopping ass, like, Karen, I'm telling you right now, if you're my friend, you're my friend. If someone has a problem with you and you're my friend and I'm around, then I'm sticking up for my friend. I'm not wobbling, I'm not shaking, I'm not backpedaling because, oh, you don't like my friend, so let me just move out. No. If you have a problem with my friend, first of all, I'm going to check you. I'm going to exit the room. But I'm not
Mhm.
going to flip flop. Karen, I feel like she should have been more in Monique's corner, especially Karen is damn near 60.
Yeah.
So you should have been the mature one. And basically, if I was Karen, I'd have like, let me tell you something right now. Monique, you and Candace, y'all gonna cut it out. Y'all gonna sit down. Y'all gonna address the elephant in the room. Y'all could be in close separate corners. Giselle hire her run a cop, whatever. First of all, he like he couldn't protect anything. Uh, what are you protecting? Unnecessary to have that person. Like, I don't understand it. But I feel like Karen, the oldest one in the group, she should have set those women down. And she
She,
called her, what's up? What she call
she
herself? The
I
grand
forget.
dame, whatever,
Grand. She
whatever.
tried. She tried in the season. I'll say this: she tried. Karen was very diplomatic. She was more Team Monique than she was Candace, and Candace got upset with her. And so Monique, it was one point where Karen had all the women at Monique's house, and Monique was apologizing to the rest of the women except for Candace. And so she felt like at that time it wasn't. Oh my goodness! At that time, it wasn't right for her to see Candace because it was still fresh, but she wanted to apologize to all the women. But Giselle kind of messed that moment up by bringing her security and
Yeah.
acting real.
I don't
Yeah,
understand why she had to bring him. Like, I feel like she made this situation where it's like, why do you need Biz Marquis here? Like, what is he doing for us at this point in time? It was just first of all, just so why? Like, y'all all grown women. The fight was because of Monique was provoked, kinda, and then she was going to say she was going to drag her the season before. So I did see that clip. I don't know why she said she was going to drag her. When I watch Potomac more, I'll know. But I feel as though you bringing security and heighten the situation. Like, you made it worse. What was the point of this? This could have been I really wish it was minimized, and I don't feel like there's any. First of all, there's not a lot of people in Potomac. So y'all would have to either bring Wendy back or Sharice back, because who else will y'all have? Nobody
I
can
think
fill Monique.
I hope they find somebody new. That's what I hope. I'm hoping they get a new person to fill Monique's shoes, and I hope the person, not to be all in the colorism, but I hope the person is light skinned to make Giselle feel threatened out.
Right,
I
but
mean, I don't care. They can.
who's in that area?
Mm-mm.
Nobody.
It's some people out there. It's people with money, but it's like if they classy enough to let their guard down to go on there. Because I'll say this: when I lived in that area, and I miss it. It was just so expensive living with my mom because that's who I was with. I was a teenager at the time, but most people had money, and reality shows was not it. So it's just I don't know who would go on there. I'm surprised the women that are on there now needed the check. I'll just say that.
I don't want them to sell there, so I know that you can see some of the change in the women once they become a part of the show. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm happy. When I was watching Lane, I'm happy. Like when I saw Kim Phillips on there, I was like, why are you on here? Like this isn't for you. And I'm happy she exited after one season. I felt like towards the end though, she let Kenya change her character. So I do see that some people when they get on these shows, they try sometimes get out of character and don't be who their true selves. And whoever they find, I hope they just remain the person that they should be and the person who they are and stick to your principles because reality TV you can see can change you. Social media can change some people. I mean, people likes go to people's head and make them think they're better than what they are at some point in time. So I feel like a lot of people get in that spotlight and they realize that the villain sometimes gets more play and more airtime. But I just hope if when they do come back, they come back with a different attitude. I hope Giselle goes back to first lady mode or whatever, because I don't know who this Giselle is, or this feels like the real Giselle. But if it's not, I'm sorry, I should not say this because we don't need men to validate us, and I'm not trying to like
Exactly.
Samuels, but I feel like she just need a man at this point because she got too much time on her hand. She worry about first of all, you worry about wine. Why you know first of all, why did you know that Candace's husband's zip fly was unzipped? Why you like you worry about everything else but Jamal, all in his pants. He up there consoling his wife. Why are you worried about his pants? Why are you down there? First of all, so
Mm-hmm.
you need. Not saying she won. She need a man at this point. She needs somebody to occupy that time because she has way too much time on her hand.
She does. Well, that's all I have to say on all we have to say. Thank you for joining my show, Hannah. I do want to shout out I got a new subscriber, Chloe Johnson. I hope you don't mind me saying your full name, but thank you for subscribing to my channel. I'd like to talk about reality TV. I also like to talk about the upliftment of Black women, and Black men as well. I'm not gonna just leave the Black men out, but I'm not Team Kevin Samuels. Just know that he's entertaining, but I don't believe in anything that he's saying.
I like him a little bit. Don't judge me, Candace.
No, I do too. What? Well, you know what? Let's have a little synopsis about Kevin Samuels. So no, I don't dislike him. I'll say that. I do. I don't like his audience because it seems like his audience. He has a lot of Black men that are insecure and bitter, whereas he's not. He's very secure in himself. I don't believe he's all that what he says he is, but I do like the fact that he's coming to people with truth. He's very realistic in what he is saying to people. I don't know. Can you get Bert on? No.
When you have lions, then he might slide up in
Yeah.
there.
I wonder what is Bert's opinion on Kevin Samuels?
He doesn't personally care for him, which is shocking. But he only saw like the small clips that that I showed and what we were talking about. But I okay, I'm not going to say I don't like him. I agree 100% with his following. It's not him. It's the people that follows him. Oh wow! I didn't know he was watching. What if I was talking about him? But I feel like he sometimes makes points, but the audience he has, a lot of them, first of all, are bitter. I don't know who hurt these men, but when he says things, he's very blunt. I respect his bluntness. I just don't respect when he goes rogue with the bluntness.
Yeah.
When
Or
he
when he
starts off, he's fine. But then he just start. But I do only one thing I respect about him. He at first when I just saw, I'll admit it. When I first saw him, he was attacking that woman, but he went in on a man as well, the same way of asking about his big, say eggplant. Um, when he asked him if he have a big one or not, and all right, sir. But when he went on a man stuff, first I was like, oh, he always talking about Black women and him. But when I saw he went on a man too, I was like, oh, so there's no respect of person. So I respect that he just says what he says, but then I saw some of his older clips and he was not like that. So I realized him going on people makes him his money. So I mean, at this point, just get your coin. If they're going to listen to it, but I don't feel like that's him in real life. I feel like when those cameras off, he's not the same person. But when them cameras is on, he gonna do what it takes to get that money. And you see that one world star gain him how many followers?
Like
That I didn't even
200,000.
know World Star was still around until I saw that clip.
200,000. And I'll say this about Kevin Samuels. He is spot on with what he says. I did not like him calling the woman out of her name and cursing at her. That was where he crossed the line. But as for black men and black women and men and women in general, men at times do lie to us about a lot of stuff. And so they put us up on these pedestals where we do think that we are just the bomb. And there's nothing wrong with us thinking that we're the bomb, but sometimes men will feed our egos as well. And so it's like now that we have this man telling us the truth about what we look like, it's a hard pill to swallow
Yeah.
because for so many years, in order to get the pussy, I'm sorry, men lie. This is the conversation we have to have. So men, it's not that we put our own selves on this pedestal. You guys put us on the pedestal as well in order to get the P, the power of the P. So maybe this is
Say it
something we
again.
will.
The power. Say it
The power
again.
of the
He
P.
got power.
Yes, you put us on this pedestal to make us feel like we were these queens and make us think that, oh, we just got it going on. That now a lot of women heads are big. Bert said, I agree. It's a front, but he's smart. He's a smart man. He knows how to draw you in. And he also said facts. Yes. So
He
yeah, Kevin
definitely
said,
does.
yeah. Kevin Samuels is speaking the truth, but I think we both have to be accountable for how things have turned out. Women do have big heads, and they do require a lot, but some men do as well. So it goes both ways. Hopefully, we can come to a common ground. Hopefully, we don't have to disrespect each other to do that, because I feel like at times that some of the people that are following Kevin Samuels are very disrespectful as it relates to women. And for some reason, he has a lot to say about black women, but not women of other races. So that's my only problem with him in that aspect. Because to me,
And
women
black
are women.
men. And
Yeah,
black men, but not men
yeah,
of other races.
yeah. So I feel like when we're dating, I'm not one that I'm just gonna date a black man. I've dated all types of men, and it's because I feel like a man is a man regardless. Now I identify the most with a black man, and I do see a black man as a king, but I'm not gonna limit myself to only black men. I'll say that because they don't limit themselves to just only us. So
Yeah.
it's only fair.
Yeah.
But I'm married now. For those that don't know, because somebody said we was gonna die alone, but we're both married
Right?
women.
Like
Well,
what?
soon to be
So
married.
I don't understand. That's my thing too about his followers. A lot of them are disrespectful. And I don't understand how you disrespectful to black women how, you came from a black woman. You
Mm-hmm.
came from a black woman. And the disrespect you don't have to, you can like whoever you like, you can love whoever you love, you can date whoever you want to date. You don't have to put someone else down to make yourself or the person you would feel better. That's my whole thing. Like if you want to date white, date white. If you want to date Hispanic or exotic, whatever you want to, do you. My issue is that you have to disrespect the black woman to do so. You don't have to. Like you don't have to date black women. You don't have to like them, but it's just keep your mouth shut. And they be the same people who are quick to call out someone saying a racist comment or something else, but you say derogatory terms to your own fellow women, and then if someone else disrespected the woman you're with, then you're ready to fight. Somebody disrespected your mother, you're ready to fight, start a war, go in on someone, but you're disrespecting someone else's mother or someone else's child when you're being very disrespectful. So that's just my only thing, and I 100% agree. His followers are on some straight BS. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And if you feel as though you got to put black women down to be happy with your woman, then clearly you're not happy with your woman because you shouldn't have to put someone else down. You're not happy. and maybe you couldn't get that black woman you wanted, so you had to settle for whatever you wanted, and that comes the hate towards black women.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I also wish we would stop believing in all these generalizations about each other, because not every black woman is a baby mama or has all this going on, and not every black man is a deadbeat man. So if I feel like if we would stop believing in all of that, oh, Bert told you, preach, Sister Soldier.
Oh Lord, he always called me
But
that.
if we would be open to know that there's so many, even though we are the minority in this country, but not all of us are the same side of the coin. It's another side to the coin. So there are different types of black people, and don't fall for these generalizations that society is putting on us, because if you do that, you're going to close yourself up for something that's actually good. And had I believed in the generalizations of what they were putting on black men, I never would have met my current husband. So please just meet people for yourself. It's okay to have your preferences, but just be open. Don't disrespect anybody. And
Yeah,
if that person is disrespecting you, then maybe that woman or that man is not for you. So that's all. So that's that on that. I said what I said,
yes, yes.
because usually I have people in my comments coming for me
I
in my
had one thing.
comments.
Speaking of exotic women, I actually looked at the shade room. Did you hear about the Larsa Pittman?
Larsa Pippen, what happened with her?
So apparently, LeBron James' son liked her picture. Yeah, mind you, it was an innocent picture. She had a regular selfie.
And you know she's Scottie Pippen's ex-wife.
Ain't they still married? The divorce ain't
No, I thought
finalized?
that.
Oh,
What?
I don't think the
What?
divorce
I
is
didn't
finalized.
know that.
I don't know, but Savannah James never says nothing. Like, Savannah be real chill. So they
Yeah.
made a big deal and was going in on him. And Savannah was on Shade Room yesterday, cussing and telling them, like, don't come for my son. He liked a picture. It's not that deep. And then she's
Yeah.
like, you got the right one. But then I actually watched Shade Room. I was on it all yesterday. And I'll look at it like on the weekend here and there. But basically the Larsa was saying that the guy he was with, his wife was separated, but the wife
Mhm.
was saying that they weren't separated when y'all got together. So his team said they were separated, and then his team also said that he was still sleeping with the wife when he was with Larsa.
Mm-mm-mm.
So I'm like, what?
Larsa Pippen, you know, she used to be friends with the Kardashians, and they fell out with her because she was, I don't know if she was trying to get with Tristan Thompson,
Christian, yeah, I heard
or
that.
I
And
don't
then
know.
you know what? They came so hard on Jordy, but Jordan, but
He's looking at Bert's comment like that.
that kind I'm about to hurt him. Anyway,
But
they
I
came so hard on Jordan. Why you don't come at her? And Tristan kissed her.
kissed Jordan. She didn't kiss back. So that's what's
And
so crazy.
Tristan was engaged to Jordy while she was pregnant when Chloe got with him. But that we not talking about that.
Exactly.
So how you get
That's how you lose them.
them?
Yep. What do you think about this Iggy Azalea and her going off about her? What is his name? Something Cardi. I don't know.
Party boy, playboy, girl.
Playboy Cardi. I think that's his name.
It's
But
some
she's upset because she's being treated like the typical, as they say, the typical black baby mama. But of
yeah.
course,
First of all, who is he? I'm saying my age.
he's a rapper. To me, she's more famous than he is. Like I know of
I
her, but
know
I never
Iggy.
heard of
I
him.
don't know him at all.
Yeah. But she is apparently in her feelings because he was raw dogging some women, and while she was
Why she was
pregnant,
pregnant?
and one of them had to get an abortion or something like that. So
I feel like not okay. How do I put this? I'm not saying men cheat, but not condoning any type of cheating. I'm saying all cheating is wrong. But why do you feel as though it's okay to cheat while the woman is carrying your child? I don't
you
even
know
understand that.
that's common.
It's
Because
very. I just saw
if you
Portia
listen
and
to my
Dennis. I told you I'm on season 12.
if you listen to my story time, the first guy that I had an affair with, his wife was pregnant, and I didn't know that. So I don't. I maybe we need to ask a man that. Why are they cheating on their wives when their wives are pregnant?
So when I was pregnant with my daughter, I got cheated on with my ex
Mm,
um multiple times. I didn't know that till after I filed, a lot of stuff came out. So I did ask. We went to counseling, which was a waste of time. I did ask, why did you do it? And he said out his mouth, he does not know. So I don't think we never will know the answer. So
yeah.
you know how some people try to figure in their mind, or why did you cheat? I don't think I'm not saying, I feel like if any woman out there who thinks that a man is cheating because they did something wrong, I don't think you should believe that, because sometimes
There's
they just
things I
don't
can say
know.
about this marriage, but I won't.
I just feel like sometimes you, a man or a woman, well, we're different. We're kind of emotional, but I feel like sometimes a man will cheat while you're pregnant or without explanation. So I don't want anybody to think that it's them. Sometimes it's not them. That's not all men, because there are good men
Yeah.
out there. I
I
do
don't.
not believe one point, and I do not believe all men cheat. And I don't know why women believe every single man on this earth cheats. But there's a lot of men who say, "Oh, men can't be monogamous," and I don't believe that. I feel like a man will be faithful to who he wants to be faithful to.
I agree.
100%. When he don't want to ruin or mess up something, he will be faithful. So I don't think we ever will know why he cheated, but
Well,
it
and
he's not.
I feel like this. Any man can cheat, and I'm not gonna say that this current marriage has been perfect because I have story times to that. But if will my husband let me tell it, I don't know. Um, but it happens. It's gonna happen. It could happen on both sides at some point, but you just have to know how to unpack it and deal with it. Um, and it never has anything to do with the other person. It's in that person that's cheating is something that's going on in them. And so you have to decide whether or not you
Please
want
repeat that,
to accept
Candace.
it.
Please
Yeah,
repeat that. Please.
yeah. It's not the person who's being cheated on. It's the person that's doing the cheating. It's something in them that it's something that just happens. We're all human, and in a marriage, I'll say this: you have to decide whether or not you want to deal with that, how much you're willing to deal with, and whether or not it cheating. I know people consider like sex cheating, or to me, if you build this relationship with someone, just talking, that's emotional cheating. So you you have to decide what you're willing to deal with and how deep the emotional cheating happened. If it was too deep or that you can't handle and you can't get over it, I say leave. But if it's something where you feel like you can save your marriage, you have your children and all that, I say go for it. So it's you can't. I will never judge somebody that stays with their partner that cheated. I won't do that because we don't know what the dynamics was of that.
Say it again. I agree. I 100% agree with that. I do not believe if a woman or a man decides to stay with their spouse if they cheated. First of all, let me say this right here. If your husband or wife cheats, keep that between y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that between y'all. There's no one else's business. There's no one else needs to know if your husband or wife cheated on you. You know
And I
why?
say,
Because you can forgive that.
mm-hmm.
The outside party cannot. And you know what's sad? The outside party they can't forgive it probably was getting cheated on or cheating. That's the sad part.
Exactly. Can I say this too? Well, with the outside party, I don't even be thinking about them like goodbye. But Kenny said men sometimes cheat because of options and opportunity. That's the same reason why women cheat.
Hey Kenny,
Let,
I
let
ain't see you all
I know.
night.
Let's talk about Aisha Curry. Aisha Curry is with Steph Curry. Steph Curry is successful, and they have a relationship. People would view it as the perfect relationship. But if he's getting all the attention, it's going to be some point in the relationship, and people say she was wrong for feeling like this. But it's going to be some point in the relationship where she feels like, damn, I want some attention too. And it's not that she seeks it, but she's more open to people that are coming to her.
Yeah.
And that not to say what she said was wrong, but that's a dangerous place to be where you feel like, damn, I want some attention too, because you can take it a step further. Like, well, let me just go to dinner with him. And because Steph is out here, he's doing whatever. People saying he's cheating. I'm gonna just go to dinner. It's innocent. I'm gonna just go and sit down and have a drink, and that's it. So it starts as a drink and a dinner. Then it turns into, well, it's not gonna be nothing if I go to his house.
And then you just on the floor.
And then you just caught up, legs in the air and all.
Spread eagle.
So it happens on both sides, but you have to be strong and you have to be willing to be accountable for you and what you do. Because I'm not going to say that just men are just these cheaters, because women cheat too. It's just easier. It's easier to get away with because men don't suspect it. They don't think it can happen to them. Men are that cocky to really feel like I feel like I'm telling some of the secrets, but men really feel like it can't happen to them. But I'm gonna tell you today, men, I'm gonna look into my camera. Oh, it happens to you too.
You know what though? Men, you know why women cheat better? Not condoning women that cheat, but men change their routine.
Yes.
Lie stupidly. I mean, the dumbest lies sometimes. They make
They leave stuff around that you can find.
stuff. And then I feel like women, we're natural detectives. Like, you can know some things, but you keep it quiet until you're ready. Sometimes you keep it quiet, sometimes you go. So I'm more of a quiet keeper. I'll keep it, I'll let it build up, and then I'm like, ha ha. Oh, I knew this date, dun, da, 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 da. But I feel like my thing is though, I've never understood this. This is my biggest thing. I never understood why people cheat. Like, my biggest thing is leave. I feel like when you get to the point that you have to cheat on that person, then my thing is just leave. But I understand. And also going back to Aisha Curry, I think they got married too young.
Well, think about this though, Hannah. Say they didn't get married young, and say you've been together a long time. And sometimes in those situations that become comfortable, people can become complacent. And so you like sometimes both men and women want to see if they still got it. But sometimes seeing if you still got it goes too far. Now
I feel like a hypocrite, Candace. You got me feel like a hypocrite because I feel like, okay, it's no judgment zone. So I feel like that people that's been married for like 9,000 years, I feel like if the person stepped out, I actually would not be mad at that. I don't know.
yeah.
Don't judge me. Do
No,
not judge
let
for
me
this.
tell you this. I agree. If you've been married for a lot of years, and I told my husband this, and I hate that I'm saying this on YouTube, but so what? I say a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna leave because we built a lot together. And so if he cheated that one time, I look at all the years that we have together and all the money that we've built together because I'll just say this, we live comfortably. So I'm not giving that up to some floozy that just comes around for that little one night stand and that's it. The
And you
part that
shouldn't.
yeah,
And
the
you
part that
shouldn't.
scares me is the emotional cheating. Because emotionally, when you get tied to somebody or you read a first comment, I don't agree with that.
Oh,
I know
I
my ex was
forgot.
cheating.
Never mind. You about to drag up old things.
I'll say this though, when you marry somebody, you have to be willing to it's for better or for worse. And so you have to go through those hard times because that is what's going to make your relationship stronger. And I definitely recommend counseling and therapy because you need it, not only for you as a couple, but for yourself. I had therapy, especially during COVID and having this baby and going through postpartum depression. Yes, I had a therapist. Oh, and also dealing with the whole organization that we were in and that stuff. Like it was a lot. It was a lot. So I am a big fan of therapy. I'm a big fan of just talking things out and hearing people out. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you this now. If my husband was to cheat on me, I'm not leaving right now. And if he tells me he's leaving me for another woman, okay, yeah, I can go get me my white man with money.
Okay, Kim, so I actually respect you saying that, and I respect that you were. She did not say it's a business, sir. She said they built a business together. Not saying it's a business, but I accept what you were saying because I mean I've been not saying I would condone if cheating went on and this infidelity went on this for the relationship or whatever, but I feel like what we have now, um, and all the stuff all the pure hell I went through prior to this, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying that if I found out it was infidelity, I would necessarily walk away the first time because I can honestly say the good definitely would outweigh the bad. And it's
Mm-hmm.
way more good. It's way more stability. It's way more being able to be yourself. So I'm not saying I would. So I get what you're saying. Like I'm not like, oh, he cheating, I'm out. Now, if you, my thing is though, I know this is bad. Emotional cheating to me is worse. So if you
Yeah.
told me out here cheating, then yeah, I'll probably dip. Like okay, because now you build a connection. Because men are, I don't care what men say. Men are, some women like, oh, he not this. Men are physical. They know what they want. They're attracted to what they want. We're emotional. They're physical. So if they see something then okay. But when they get emotionally involved, then that's another level you touching in.
And when they're telling people that they enjoy their emotional connection and all that other stuff,
You can
that
have
hurts.
that. I'm that's when I know I have to leave because you already left. Once you're emotionally connected to someone else, you left. So that
Mm-hmm.
I would leave for, but I hate that I'm
And that's my cue to leave because I'll be like, okay, I guess we got an open relationship.
at this point or open casket, but whatever. How you want to play it, but I feel like, and you know what? I'm happy that you're able to say that, and I'm happy we're able to say this because there's people that feel like that, but they don't want to say it or they don't want to admit it. But we all not. That's why people get mad. Like people got mad that Ray Janae went back to her boyfriend. Okay, we all been in our 20s before. We've been there, we
Mm-hmm.
done it. I'm pretty sure we didn't took people take their husbands back that have done worse stuff. I mean, I went back to mine and it was cheating, abusive, and everything. So I can't say, and I was in my 20s.
Yeah. Now
I'm not doing it now because
my
I'm
first
I'm
husband,
older.
my first husband, I didn't go back to him because he ended up having a baby
Oh yeah, I
by
story
someone
time.
else. I was like, oh no, I'm not. This is not gonna work. So
Yeah,
yeah, this is a done
yeah,
deal.
that's too far. Now you did that not when a baby involved. I don't know how Gabby and Ludacris' wife did it because I cannot remind. I draw the line at the child. Like I'm not going to be reminded of your affair.
Yeah, Kenny said I definitely will recommend counseling before calling it quits, but it really depends on the person who was cheated on. They hold the cards when it comes to the reconciliation, and I agree because it's
I
all about whether or not
agree.
you can trust them again. Because that's the thing. If you're willing to be stay with your spouse after they cheated, it's like you can't be constantly bringing up in their face, "Oh, you did this." But I'll say this to the cheating spouse: it's gonna take time to build that trust again. Like you are really gonna have to prove yourself, and I feel like it's with cheating. Well, it's a lot that happens, and you both have to decide that if it's worth saving your marriage. You do have to decide that because you're gonna have to deal with your spouse not trusting you for a little bit, and then the cheating person is gonna, or the person that was cheated on is gonna have to work on building that trust again. So it's a lot.
Trust. That's my only thing. Like I can be 100% honest. Trying to build up trust again after being cheated on or you found out infidelity is hard. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from no one else. It's hard when you have to try to trust again. And that plays a key factor. But I also believe in when you agree to take your significant other back, even though it takes a while sometimes to build up trust, I feel like once the trust is built back up, do not bring it back up because that can be detrimental. And you can work so hard to build the trust back up. And once you build it up, I feel like once it's built up, just keep it built up because you yourself can set yourself back. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I 100% agree. If you're going to take your significant other back after they cheated and you want to build the trust back up. And I need people to know this. Trust does not be built back up overnight. I don't know why people think that, like, oh, they cheated. You trust me again. No, no. Trust takes time. First of all, no one gets in a relationship. I don't care how many, you can be in the best relationship. You can have Sierra and Russell, whatever you want. Trust, you don't just walk up in the relationship, oh, I trust you 100%. So you already build trust in the beginning when you're courting. If people still court anymore, and when you're courting, when you're out here trying to get to know that person, and you're trying to build trust, you're trying to believe what they're saying. So you build that in the beginning. So once that's broken, and there's a lot of people out here, like you said, counseling, there's a lot of people out here that's damaged. And when they do give you that trust, that's worse when it's shattered. So once you destroy someone's trust, you cannot build it back overnight. It's not happening. But once you build it back up, both parties should keep that trust there. And both parties, even if you were cheated on, or if you are the cheater, I feel like once that trust is back, you have to keep that there, because there's some men or women who get cheated on that constantly throw that in that person's face. If you choose to forgive someone and to trust them to move on, then you should not toss that in that person's face, because you not only are you hurting that person, you actually still hurting yourself in the process, because you're not healing. They can't heal, the relationship can't heal, and you can't self-heal.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I feel like with relationships as people, we are ever evolving. I'm not the same person that my husband married or met 7, 8 years ago. I'm completely different from that person. And so you have to be willing to deal with that person that changes. And then also, as Black people, we do come into situations, or as people in general, we come into relationships with a lot of baggage, and you have to decide whether or not you're willing to unpack that baggage of that person. And so I'll never forget when I lived in Dallas, I went to Concord Church. I visited that church, and the pastor was going through a Friends with Benefits series. At the time, Steve Harvey's book had come out, so this was like 2011, 2012. With How to Think Like a Man or whatever. And so he had a series, but he was like basically dating the 90-day rule and all this other stuff and unpacking baggage. And it was really good. He said a lot of really good things. And so what I took from that message was everybody has problems. It's just whether or not you're willing to deal with that particular person's problems and if that particular person is right for you at that time. And so everybody is going to have baggage. Nobody is perfect. The grass looks always greener on the other side, but that person, when you get with them, will have more baggage for you to unpack. But you have to decide whether or not you're willing to unpack their baggage. So yes, I loved it. So Bert said, he said, yes, you definitely have to take inventory as far as staying in the relationship. Don't take a person back and start to ride them into the dirt. Exactly. So, and I'll say this as a woman, it's not that I'm riding you into the dirt, but we forgive, but we don't forget. So
Say it again, Candace. Repeat that.
we don't forget. We forgive, but we don't forget. And so if we see things that trigger us, expect for us to say something. So and if we're choosing to forgive you, you also have to choose to deal with what may come up once we've chosen to stay with you. So just because we chose to stay in the situation doesn't mean that we're going to forget everything that happened. And so certain things may be a trigger. You have to be willing to deal with that. You have to be realistic and decide whether or not you want to deal with that as a man or
Or
as the
as a woman.
as the cheating spouse.
Yeah,
Yes.
because some women cheat, and which is rarely a man takes you back. Rarely.
Exactly.
Rarely
I
a
have never
man will
seen
deal
that.
with you. I mean, it's men out here that will deal with a woman cheating, but rarely a man takes you back. But if the man takes a cheating woman back, which is rare,
He was
um,
in love.
I don't feel like the man should throw it in the woman's face either. Oh, you was wrong. That's not. But you took me back. So what's the point?
What is Bert saying you shouldn't? I want to know what he's talking about when he says you
Oh,
shouldn't.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. He's in another room. I'm not sure what he means. I'm curious to what you shouldn't means as well. If he adds it again, I need to know what he meant by that, because I might feel like, I mean, I agree with you. Like, if people can cheat on you and then don't think that you're supposed to remember what happened. Like, no. Yeah, I remember. And it happens. Like, you can't easily forget. And sometimes when people get cheated on, you don't know their past. So, and that goes for men and women. That's not only men. So we're saying men, but women cheat too. And you don't know what that person's past did to them. So that one cheating that you did can actually cause more damage probably than the other person, because sometimes when women or men get cheated on and they build that trust and they fall back in love, what you did sometimes might be worse because they decided to give it another chance, try to give love another try to build up what they thought that they didn't want or can find again. So sometimes what people went through before you, once you cheat, you might think, oh my, they went through all this, it's not that big of a deal. But sometimes it can be worse because they've already decided that they were going to try to give it another try. So when they try to give it another try and you decide to cheat or take their trust away, I sometimes it's worse than the person that first hurt them.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I definitely agree. So, this was deep.
I must say this got real deep. It went from
Yes.
it went real deep. I loved it. I love it. I love it.
Yes, I love it too.
I think it went deep for a reason. Somebody might need to hear this tonight. So
yes,
everything does happen for a reason, and my glass is empty. And
I done poured multiple glasses of wine, so I'm a little tipsy. If you notice my eyes getting low, that's why I hate drinking, because my eyes get
shaker
low.
was full. It's gone. It's gone. Wait, this is a cherry stem. So clearly, but I enjoyed this. I'm happy you let me come back on Mimosa Monday because
yes,
I like it.
You may be I can't even talk because I'm tipsy. A
Me too, a little bit too.
I'm gonna say a purple statement, but a permanent staple.
I would agree to that. I would agree.
Thank you. I don't want you to be overwhelmed because my last person was overwhelmed. Let me see what Kenny said. He said, I'd rather just end it if I have to bend over backwards and have to hear it every time we have a disagreement. I do believe relationships can survive infidelity, but it's tough. Yes, it is tough. I think it takes counseling, and it's going to take that person to not bring it up as well. So, yeah.
I say, don't bring it up. That's my thing. Don't bring it up.
And that's my cousin. I love him. I love my cousin Kenny because he speaks the truth. He's actually my mother's first cousin, so I guess he's my second cousin. But he has always seemed like he has wisdom, and I love him. So,
which we need to hear.
Yes,
Kenny had to come on the Lions Den.
Yes, Kenny, you have to come on the Lions Den. I need to have you because you have a lot of wisdom.
This Friday. Are you having it this week or no?
I have to see if my friend, Freddie, the crazy older guy, he's the staple. So if he will do it, then yes, I will do it.
I know it's New Year's Eve this Friday. That's how I was asking.
Oh, or New Year's Day this Friday. New Year's Eve is Thursday.
Thursday, you're right. Oh, yeah, Thursday. So if you have
the birthday of Lush Chronicles. Yes, Luscious.
It might be Lush because I usually make him a drink, and I make him a drink tonight. I drunk the whole entire thing, so I agree with the Lush Chronicles. I usually make it, but if you're having it, New Year's Day is actually perfect. So if you're having it,
yes, I think we need to do it. I'm gonna see if my friend will do it because
that's a good start of the new year.
Yeah, my friend Freddie, he has his own channel, Real Talk for Real Men. So he was taking a 2-week break, and usually, I don't know if you've seen his shows.
I need that link. So
I need to start.
We're trying to watch it, and I didn't even realize. I didn't remember.
Yes, I need to start tagging you because his shows be good and they be on point, and I get even more crazy on his shows.
Oh,
so yes.
I have to.
It's he goes. And my cousin Kenny said it's the gray hair. I'm ready. Yes,
gray hair.
So yes, Kenny will be on there. But yeah, I'm gonna see if my friend Freddie can do it. So I do want Freddie, Kenny, Bert. I want Bert again, and my husband. So those will be
You
the
want
four
that
men
bird
on.
back?
Yes, I want Bert. I like
He
Bert.
was
I'm not
giving
saying
good
I
with it.
love.
I was actually, I was actually shocked that he came on camera because he's not a big camera person. So when he did, I was like, oh, this is good. Like,
He's good. I
if
like
I'm
Bert.
gonna come on
So,
your show, that's good because he's not a camera person. I wasn't either at the beginning, but I'm getting him.
yeah. So it'll be me, you, Bert, Kenny, my friend Freddie, and my husband. So that's what I want on the show.
Perfect. I think that would be a perfect way to start the new year.
Yes. So we'll see if he'll do it. But
Yeah.
that's all I have for today. We went over.
You
This
got
show
your
was
final thought,
very.
or that's it?
Oh, we can do a final thought. You go first because I got to get mine together.
So my final thought is when we come back, it will be a new year. I know that 2020 has been a trying year. I know that a lot of people lost things, but I know a lot of people gained things. So I hope that we took a lot that we learned this year and we just apply it to not to do next year. I don't want anyone to say, oh, this is what I'm going to do in 2021 and this and it. Don't choose your year. Don't make your resolution because just go into this year thinking whatever happens, I'm going to accept it because we had to learn in 2020. We never know. There were jobs that people told us we couldn't work from home and you can't do that. And we have learned that you can be home and you learned that you can be here. There are people who are now teachers and for their children that thought they couldn't. There are people who are making $90,000 and $100,000 who is unemployed at this point in time. So I just want people to just take this year as a growing process and just know that next year, I don't think not telling anyone what to do. I don't think anyone should set a resolution or set anything. I just think we should just go into this year thinking, I survived the year I'm in and I'm going to do whatever I can for this up and coming year and make myself a better person. I mean, people open businesses in this, so it's a lot. Even though we lost a lot in 2020, we gained a lot, and I just hope that people enter the new year not realizing the loss, but realizing the gain and grow with the gain.
Well, thank you, Hannah. Hannah said a word.
That PK came out.
Yes. So mine won't be as long, but I just want to say this. I want to thank everyone for subscribing to my channel. This was something that I've wanted to do for 11 years, and to actually take the step to do it, I'm proud of myself. I want to thank Hannah. I love you, Hannah. I was thinking about you earlier. I was thinking about you earlier. Hannah is everything that exemplifies being a successful, established Black woman, and I love it. And so that's what my channel is about. There is more to come, and that's all I have to say. So I want to thank, I want to thank everybody. Oh, shout out to my friend Kanea. She started this channel with me. I want to thank her for everything that she's done. I want to thank my husband. I even want to thank Lamar, my male best friend, because he's giving me pointers on how to grow this channel. So I love the fact that I'm closing out this year with people that I love. And yes, and there's only greater to come. Make sure you subscribe to Hannah's channel. Tell them a little bit about your channel.
So I cook and I make drinks. Well, there's only fruit left in this drink, but I do cook. I do have my channel on YouTube is Chef Hannah Hills and Mills, which is also my catering line, and my salt-free seasoning line that someone actually just sent to Tabitha Brown.
See?
And I was
Yeah.
shocked. I kept being told to send it, and she actually emailed me and let me know that she received it. So I'm happy whoever sent it. I appreciate everything, but I appreciate you letting me come on here because it's rare that other women support other women, and I respect everything you do. And the woman, the mother, the career woman you are, the wife you are, I just respect it. And I thank you for allowing other women to be a part of your dream.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm gonna give you an air hug.
Air hug, air hug. I mean, I could come to Atlanta when you
Yes.
come. And
Oh, when you come,
I will.
yes,
I
we
be
will
when I
turn
told you all
all
my
the way
family's
up.
in LaGrange in Savannah.
See?
I will be there. I'm a Georgia, well, by family Georgia, but Georgia. But yes, yes, we will definitely be there.
Yes. Well, thank you all for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, The Candy Shop. There is more to come. Happy New Year
Happy
and
New Year.
bye.